I'm going to get started with the pass withdrawal webinar. I'm going to close my door so I don't annoy everyone outside. So what's going on? UAH has issued a new grading policy that will apply to both fall 2020 and spring 2021 terms. There are some differences. If you were here last spring, there are some differences between last spring and this semester's grading policy. So if you haven't been with us before, this is your first semester, students will be able to change their grade basis from letter grade to the pass withdraw option. Students may switch to the pass withdraw option on a course by course basis. So it's not an all or nothing, okay? Students will be able to view their final letter grades in their courses before having to make a decision. So you don't have to go in blind. You'll be able to see what your final grade is issued by your instructor, and then you'll have some time to make a decision. So this is the general process. Your instructors will assign a letter grade for each of your courses, just like they always have. These grades will appear on your transcript, which you can view at my.uah.edu. You will have about a week, I think it's more like 5 days, to consider your letter grades and decide to do one of the following. Either keep your letter grade for a course or courses, or you can change the letter grade to either a P for pass or a W to withdraw. So let's talk about what the different options are, and then I'll come back to you guys for a second to see if there are any questions. So option A, you can, option A, you can keep your grades, and this is default, okay? So you may choose to keep your letter grades as earned for each course. These grades will be used to calculate your semester and your cumulative grade point averages. And this is what normally happens in a non-COVID time. So you get your letter grades, they are used in the calculation of your GPAs, both semester and cumulative. This is normal, okay? This is also the default. So if you do nothing at the end of the term, you will keep all of your letter grades. Okay, option B is pass. And I've got action required here because you have to do something in order to change your grade to a pass or a P. So you may choose to change your grade to P, pass, if you have earned a D- or better in a course or courses. A pass grade will not be used in the calculation of either your semester or cumulative grade point averages. A pass grade will count towards hours earned for the semester. You must take action to switch your letter grade to pass. So there'll be, if you were here with us in the spring, the registrar sent out some information about how to change your letter grade or change your grade from letter grade to pass withdraw. The same thing will happen this semester. So option C, withdraw, action required again. So you have to do something in order to get this withdraw to work. So you may choose to change your grade to W or withdraw for any grade earned. A withdraw grade will not be used in the calculation of your semester or cumulative grade point averages, and it will not count towards hours earned for the semester. You must take action to switch your letter grade to withdraw. Okay, so again, the same thing with pass. You'll get something from the registrar's office, and you will indicate whether you want to change a letter grade to pass or withdraw. So let's talk about the implications of the keep option. What does this mean as far as if you use the keep option? So all letter grades, including grades of F that are kept, will factor into your semester and cumulative grade point averages. All grades of D- or better that are kept will count towards earned hours. Your decision is final after your selection has been made and saved. So if you do nothing or you choose to keep a letter grade, once you save that or it goes past the due date, your decision is final. Your letter grades will be kept. Remember, all letter grades will be kept if you do nothing. Okay, last spring we had about 8% of the student population keep F grades. So, and the advisors and I can think of no good reason to do that. So other implications, pass grades will be indicated on your transcript with a P. A grade of C- or better is still required for prerequisite courses, and this is different from last spring. So you can pass a course, you can choose to change to a P grade on a course that you earn a D- or better in. But if you have not earned a C- in a prerequisite course, even if you change it to P, you still must go back and earn a C- or better in that course. So I'm going to give you an example. So if you've earned a D in MA 171 and you choose to switch to pass, you can do that and you will have a P on your transcript. But you will not be allowed to continue to 172. So you'll have to retake MA 171 and earn a C- or better in order to move on to 172. But the pass that you took for the D will not affect your GPA. This will be true for any course that serves as a prerequisite for a required course for your degree program. So if you earn a D in history, for example, history is not required for any other course that you have to take in the College of Engineering. So you can earn a D in that course, take a pass, and then you don't have to worry about anything else. So here's another example. So if you've earned a C in Physics 111, so Physics 1, and you choose to switch to pass, you've earned a C. Even though you're taking the pass grade, you've still earned a C, so you can go ahead and move on to Physics 2 the next semester. Okay, I'm going to come back to you guys for just a second and see, and there are no questions, and I'm going to look to see if there are any hands up. And I don't see any of that either. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue here. So implications for the withdraw option. Withdraw grades do not count toward your grade point averages or your earned hours. So if you withdraw from a course that's required for the degree, you would have to retake that course. Students with federal aid or loans must still meet completion ratios. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about this, different financial products you might be using or other scholarships, things like that. We'll talk about more about those implications as we go along. So if you haven't heard anything about your specific situation, stay tuned. So other implications. The pass withdraw option may affect you differently if you have a merit tuition scholarship, so you've used an ACT or SAT in your GPA for the merit tuition scholarship. If you've received any other type of financial aid, federal loans, grants, or other competitive scholarships, you are a student athlete, you utilize any sort of military educational benefit. The most popular one is going to be the Veterans Administration, the VA grants. You plan to pursue JUMP or graduate school in the future at UAH. You plan to attend graduate school or a professional school like med school, law school in the future and not do that at UAH. If you're currently on academic warning or probation, okay? So we're gonna go through some of those. So again, I'm gonna come back to the Q&A here for a second and just look. We will talk about, so someone's asked how your GPA is affected. I'm gonna give you some information about how you can use some of the tools in DegreeWorks to look at your GPA and what pass and withdrawal will do for that. Another question that got asked is I'm gonna answer a question about what passing might mean for employers here in just a minute. So someone's asked a question about that. I'll talk about that kind of at the end of the presentation. Okay, so and I don't think anyone's got their hand up, so I'm going to continue. So let's talk about merit tuition scholarships, because most likely that's going to be the majority of you. So in general, to renew your merit tuition scholarship, you must meet the following requirements. You must remain classified as a full-time undergraduate student for each consecutive fall and spring term. You must earn a minimum 2.0 UAH grade point average each semester. You must maintain a minimum 3.0 cumulative UAH grade point average. You must earn a minimum of 6 credit hours each fall and spring semester, and you must earn a total 24 hours combined from fall and spring. So you might only have 6 hours in the fall, but you've got to get to 24 by the end of spring semester. Okay, so what are the takeaways for you this fall if you're on a merit tuition scholarship? 1, you must have a cumulative 3.0 or higher GPA. So your minimum GPA has to be above that 3.0 cumulative or 3.0 mark for your cumulative GPA. You must earn at least 24 hours over fall and spring terms total. Note, P grades will count towards this total, W grades will not. You must earn a minimum of 6 credit hours this semester. That includes grades of A through D or P. You must earn a 2.0 minimum semester GPA for fall. This means that you cannot choose P or W grades for all of your fall classes because then you would not have a fall GPA. This is true even if your cumulative GPA meets the 3.0 minimum requirement. Okay, so you have got to earn a GPA this semester. So one course at least a C, and then have your cumulative GPA be above 3.0. Okay. So first-time students, another takeaway, your semester GPA is your cumulative GPA. So there's no difference if this is your first semester at UAH. Earned hours will not double count. So if you have to retake a course for which you took a pass grade, the hours are only going to count one time. This is important when you're considering the 24-hour minimum for the academic year. So let me give you an example. If you're taking statics right now, you're an MAE student and you're taking statics and you're going to get it and you get a D in the course and you want to change that to a pass. Okay. While you've passed the course, the hours will count this semester, but they will not count when you retake the course in the spring, which you will have to do because you haven't gotten a C or better in it so that you can move on to dynamics. This is true for any prerequisite course. Okay, so the hours can only count once. So if you pass or you withdraw a course and you have to take it again, the hours are only going to count one time. I'm just looking at a question here. We've had one question about what you're doing if you're co-oping in the spring. If you're co-oping, you really need to talk to financial aid to make sure that you understand what the implications are for co-oping in the spring semester, or if you're co-oping this fall, what it means for you for spring. It's important that you make sure that you understand the implications there. Okay, I think I've answered the other questions here, or I'm waiting to answer them. Someone's asked that I am recording. We will have this video and the slides available to you. We'll email that out a little later. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slides here. So do you have other financial aid, so loans, grants, or other scholarships that aren't a part of the merit tuition scholarship? So federal loan or grant renewal and or non-merit tuition scholarships or competitive scholarship renewal are based on the terms and conditions of the financial aid product or scholarship. So you can find those terms and conditions. You should be able to view those by going to my.uah.edu and looking under the financial aid heading. You can also confirm those requirements for renewal by contacting the financial aid office. You can call them at 256-824-6650 or email them at finaid@uah.edu. uah.edu. So if you are not under the Merit Tuition Scholarship, you have some other financial aid, and you're concerned about where you stand on taking pass or withdraw grades, we strongly encourage you to reach out to financial aid and not to wait until December the 18th to do it. You should talk to them now and give them an idea of where you think things are heading so that they can assist you. We really can't comment on, the advisors and I can't comment on these financial aid products because we just don't know enough about them. We don't have that level of expertise, and we don't want to give you incomplete or worse, incorrect information. So please contact financial aid for that. So are you a student athlete? So athletes must complete 9 hours with grades that satisfy degree requirements. So the same rules apply for prerequisite courses. So if you don't earn the required grade in a prerequisite course, that's not going to count. So you need to complete 9 hours with grades that satisfy degree requirements. Freshmen and sophomores, if your rank is freshman or sophomore, these can be hours that satisfy any UAH degree requirements. If you are a junior or a senior, these 9 hours have to meet your program requirements. Okay, so you can't choose a PE course and expect that doesn't count for anything in engineering. So you can't use an HPE course, for example, as part of your 9 hours in an engineering program, because we don't accept those. Athletes must have a semester GPA at the end of fall term of at least 2.0. That means the same thing as for the merit scholarships. You cannot pass or withdraw everything. All athletes should contact Julie Waltgen. She's our compliance officer to confirm your compliance for your eligibility. So if you aren't sure, if you're worried about where things stand for you, contact Julie. They did all of this in the spring, so they're pretty well versed on how this is going to work for athletes. So if you have any doubts about where things are going to stand for you, we encourage you to reach out to Julie. Tell your coach as well, so that they can make sure that you're clear on eligibility. Here's Julie's contact information. You can reach her by phone. You can also reach her by email. Someone has asked about the last day to withdraw. I sent out an email about this yesterday. While true on the calendar, the last day to withdraw is October the 30th. The pass withdrawal policy supersedes that. So that date is now meaningless because you can withdraw for about 5 days after you get your grades. So there's no reason to worry about that October 30th withdrawal date because the pass withdrawal policy is supplanting that. I'm just going to look and see if anyone has their hand up real quick. Don't see that. So I'm going to go on to VA benefits. So typically, Veterans Affairs allows for pass withdrawal grading under these unique circumstances for COVID, but you will want to verify the requirements and limitations with the Office of Military and Veterans Programs here on campus. Don't just go by what might be online or on a message board. I went looking to see what I could find today, and I found some conflicting information. The VA office here on campus has not issued official statements yet to us that we can share with you. So I encourage you to contact Brittany Howard. You can reach her at the office here on campus with her phone number, or you can email va@uah.edu. We just don't have enough information for you at this time. Typically, it's going to be allowed. There's always some issues though with VA products. So just make sure that you are checking and double checking to make sure you're okay there. Okay. Okay, so JUMP and UAH graduate school. So if you are currently in JUMP, meaning you have applied to JUMP and you have your paperwork filled out and approved and you're taking graduate courses, you may use a pass for an undergraduate course for, so you get credit for both an undergraduate and a graduate level course. You can earn a pass on an undergraduate course that you earn the D- or better in, but only a pass for graduate courses of C- or better. So let's say you're taking a course like MAE 480 that's offered at the 580 level as well, and you're going to take you're taking 580 as a part of JUMP. you have to earn a C- or better in order to get that double counting at both the undergraduate and the graduate level. Okay, if you are taking a 600 level course, you have to earn a C- as well. All right. If you're planning to apply for JUMP, the departments that you're applying to may review your original letter grade you earned in certain courses to determine admission into the program. So, for example, several of the JUMP programs require that you have certain grades in specific courses or a grade average for a specific set of courses. And so they will be able to, if you have pass grades for those courses, they'll be able to see your letter grades and make some decisions based on that. So let's say, for example, I think in MAE, the courses are like statics, dynamics, mechanics of materials, and thermo, I believe are those courses. So they will look to see what your letter grades are if you passed all of those courses. So if you say earn C's in all those courses, they probably won't accept you into the JUMP program, even though your GPA may meet the 3.5 requirement. Okay, so so if you're applying for JUMP or planning to apply for JUMP, keep that in mind with what your P grades, any class that you might choose to earn a P grade for. Okay, now they don't look at calculus, they don't look at, there are a lot of courses that the departments don't look at. So you should look at the individual JUMP information. If you go to search UAH and JUMP, you'll find department information. You can reach out to the JUMP advisor and chat with them about your specific situation. UAH Graduate School is making accommodations internally for students that want to come to UAH for grad school and are going to earn P grades. So they will adjust and accept P grades as long as they're at the C- level, or as long as you have the, the 3.0 minimum requirement to get into grad school. All right, I'm going to come back and just look at okay, so, and I don't see any hands up. All right, so the next one is other graduate programs. So I'm talking about if you want to go to someplace like Auburn or, University of Virginia, you want to go to another school for a master's degree or a PhD in engineering, or a business major, or if you're going to go into a professional school like law school or medical school, dental school, those sorts of things. What is a pass or withdraw grade going to mean for those? We encourage you to speak with that university, college, or program that you are considering. While UAH is making accommodations internally, we are unable to predict how pass withdraw will be interpreted by other graduate programs. Now, a lot of schools across the country are allowing pass withdraw or having pass withdraw grading policies during the COVID situation. But we can't guarantee that every university will accept pass grades. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward. So Brooke Sheets, she is the pre-professional advisor on campus. She has made a comment about this. She made it last spring, and as far as I know, she still stands by it for fall. She encourages students that are going to med school or law school to keep your letter grades if you're able to, and to keep working to strive for the best grade possible. Most professional schools have mentioned that they will accept pass-fail grades during the semester, but professional schools would like to see you choose more letter grades. It may raise some red flags, but we can't predict anything there. If you want to talk to Brooke and have any questions for her about your specific situation, you can email her at ppa@uah.edu. All right. I'm going to check one more time. So the last situation you might find yourself in is you might be on warning or probation. We are still awaiting direction from academic affairs regarding any changes to the academic warning and probation status and pass withdraw grading. Last spring, academic warning and probation status was extended to fall semester if you didn't resolve it with your spring GPA. We don't have any final word on fall 2020 at this time. There is some discussion about considering students' probation status and whether they should continue to spring, but we don't know yet. So if you are in this situation, stay tuned. We will continue to update you with information as we get more about these very specific situations that some students find themselves in. Okay, are there any other questions? I've got a few more slides here, but I just want to pause and see if anyone has a question. I don't think anything new has popped up in the Q&A that I haven't answered or it's been addressed by one of the advisors. So going on, so some things to consider. So some of you have asked about what are employers going to think about pass grades? And I can tell you that so far the information that we have received from various employers who we have asked about these situations has been mixed. So it's we have heard some employers say they're a little concerned about someone taking a lot of pass grades. We have heard from others who have said this is a weird time. I would argue the same thing I tell students in non-COVID periods about having a lot of withdrawals, W grades on your transcript. It might raise some red flags if you were in here spring, this fall, and next spring, and you took almost all pass grades. There's probably going to be a question that's going to be asked about why you did that, just as if you withdrew from a bunch of courses prior to COVID. We would say lots of withdrawals are going to raise some red flags. 1 or 2 pass grades a semester, probably not going to raise a lot of red flags, especially if this is the end of your time here at UAH. Your GPA is probably going to be more important. But again, we can't predict this. We just don't have enough information. So we understand your desire to protect your GPA. We get it. Our advice is to keep working as hard as you can to get the highest letter grade possible. Don't say, well, I might get a B. I'm just gonna pass. I'm not gonna worry about it much more this semester. I would keep trying to get the highest grade that you can. A few P grades here and there, a few W grades here and there over the next 3 semesters is probably not going to be a big deal, but we can't predict that either. We would recommend that you not have 1 B grade and the rest P's and W's, for example, on your transcript. Some questions came up about honors at graduation, magna, summa, or cum laude. For your GPA is still going to determine that. So they look at your last. Is it your last 60 hours to determine cum laude, honors at graduation? I don't have that number in my head, but certainly pass grades are not going to affect that. Your GPA will still be your GPA. So
the 60 hours is correct.
60 hours, yeah. So it's your last 60 hours. So so keep that in mind. If you have all P grades, and I don't think anyone would, but if you did, you won't have a GPA, so you won't have an honors designation. So let me go. Someone has asked a question about double checking. I'm gonna deal with you in just a second. So hang in there, okay? So the plan from here. The advising office, we will send out reminders of the policy. If you were here in the spring, we sent out a survey because we wanted to make sure that everyone understood all of the ins and outs of the pass withdraw grading policy. So we will send you reminders of the policy. As I said, we had 8% of our student population last year, which was a large amount, that kept Fs on their transcript. And again, the advisors and I can think of no valid reason to do that. So we're gonna bug you until we make sure that we've got everyone taken care of. So please look out for those reminders. Make sure that you understand everything. The timeline, our understanding is, although this hasn't been publicized yet, so there could be some changes to this. Like I said, we will keep you updated. Is that grades will post sometime on December the 16th. which is a Wednesday. And then you will have until Sunday, which is the 20th, to make a decision. They're going to try to get grades posted as early as possible. So it could be as early as December the 15th. And then you'll have till the 20th to make that decision. Now, some of you have asked about GPA calculators. How do you determine the effects of pass and withdraw grades? So there's what if analysis and there's a GPA calculator in DegreeWorks. We have two videos. If you're in 299 and 399, they're the same videos, but you can, and I've put some bit.ly sites here to make it easy for you to write these down, although they will be in the slide deck you'll receive. So you can go to DegreeWorks and you can watch these videos, and it'll show you how to use these two tools to see what your situation looks like and what you're going to have to do to get through with the number of hours you want and the GPA that you want. Okay, and I think that, yeah, that's the last slide. So I'm going to leave this up in case you just want to jot it down for now. I am going to look here. So hold on, I'm going to read this question. Yes, so just a reminder, P grades will count towards your earned hours, but they do not count towards your GPA. So this is true even if you make a D in a prerequisite course. When you retake the course in the next term, however, the hours won't count there. So hours can only count one time, even if you withdraw. Yes, this is recorded. So someone came in a little late. That's fine. We are recording this and we will send it out to everyone. So you'll be able to see the video as well as the slide deck. So something came into the chat. Oh, okay. So are there any questions? Anything else? If you want to raise your hand, I'm happy to unmute you and you can ask your question. I think so. Someone asked a question earlier about being really close to magna cum laude. Is it worth passing for a B for GPA reasons? I think it is, as long as you don't have a lot of them. Employers may be more impressed with all actual grades. My opinion, and it's my opinion, would be that if this is your last semester and you have 1 or 2 P grades, you're magna cum laude, you have a high GPA, I don't think they're going to scoff too much at pass grades, especially if they are in courses that you're not actually using towards the position you're applying for. So, so what's the job you're looking for? Will that course really matter all that much to that employer? Maybe, maybe not. So hopefully that'll answer your question.